We are doing one of my favorites today. We're doing turkey chili. It's an alternative to your beef chili. A little bit healthier because turkey is a little bit leaner and a little bit more flavorful because we're adding a little different variation of things that I like to put in mine. But if you guys, I know you can't see all the way, but I will bend this down so you can see that in the pot I've already started 2 pounds of 93%, 7% fat turkey, ground turkey, to brown, so we can get a head start. You want to render your turkey down to cook out all the, it's going to be a little bit more excess water than you would have than beef. Poultry is naturally has a lot of more water than beef has in it. But I mean, I love a steak, so I'm always going to be in there for, you know, if they could make a steak off of a turkey, I'd be awesome. But I gotta have my beef. But I love to take turkey and use it for different variations, chili, taco meats. Even I make turkey burgers. Might share that recipe with you guys one day. But this recipe is pretty simple, straightforward, and you know, like I said, one of my favorites. So I will send out the recipe, and you guys can try it at home yourself. But it's pretty straightforward. So we have 2 pounds of ground turkey browning off in the skillet. I have 1 large sweet onion that I'm going to add to that mixture right now. Get everything out of there. I'm also going to add 1 large bell pepper. And these bell peppers came out of my garden. Sorry to brag, but yeah. And it's a sweet green bell pepper. One of the things I will tell you is when you're cooking turkey, it is good to have it on a high heat because, like if you can't see right now, the excess moisture from turkey, you want to get it cooked off. And you know, one of the things that I will tell you is as I'm mixing this, I really don't even drain turkey. You know, if you buy a high quality turkey, you're not really going to have a lot of fat in it. It's a very lean product. So the moisture that you have inside of your vessel is going to be mostly water. So, you know, as I break down this turkey, I like to cook it over high heat so I can get some of that moisture off of it. But other than that, you're going to have hardly no, you know, the 93.7 is what's going to be your fat content. So 93% lean, 7% fat. You know, that's usually what I buy. Some people like the 85-15, which is going to give you 85% lean, 15% fat. And those numbers are just giving you the percentage of fat that's in the product. So what they basically, when they took 85% turkey meat and then 15% of its natural body fat and combine that to give you 100%. But I like to have the lean things right there. This is, you know, a lot of people, you know, it's in Texas. We're actually having pretty decent weather today unfortunately, due to the hurricane down in the Gulf. So it's a little overcast and a little cool today, not in the hundreds. So, but chili can give you, I mean, I make it all the time of the year. I don't just make it, you know, just during in the fall or winter time. Although sometimes it just gets ridiculous. I'm not going to make it when it's 115, but it's an easy, quick dinner that you can make for your family. It's something you could easily make this recipe in Instapot or in a crock pot when you're leaving from work in the morning and come back, and it would be ready. And, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my tomato paste. I'm going to grab a spoon, and I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, any brand, anything. I use no salt added because I try to have a low sodium diet. And I'm going to do 2 heaping tablespoons of tomato paste. And one of the things that you want to add tomato paste to a lot of the products that you're making, whether it's a chili or a stew or something like that, is because it's going to give you that sensation of, not only is it going to add flavor, but if you're doing a quick tomato sauce or something like that, if you add tomato paste to it, it's going to give you that all day. I mean, it's going to seem like it's been cooked all day, 12 hours. It adds that thickness and richness to the background of your product, whether it's a stew, tomato sauce, or a sauce. It's going to give you all those things that you're looking for to make it seem like it's been cooking all day. Just the richness. It's just a concentration of tomatoes that they cook down. And we're going to let that cook. And then the next thing I'm going to add is 4 stalks of celery that I've sliced thin. And one thing I tell people all the time is don't be afraid to use your celery leaves. They have great flavor, and they'll add great. One of the things that I like to do is use celery leaves in a raw salad or different things like that. But in your soups and stocks and everything, that eliminates waste, and it gives you the same thing as the stalk will give you. It's obviously a piece of the celery, so just make sure you wash it good and chop it up as well. And then the next thing we're going to add to our pot is going to be 1 whole jalapeno. You can take the seeds out. I don't. I like it a little spicy, so we keep the seeds in my house. So, and we're going to let this cook down a little bit, just to let that tomato paste break down and have all those things go to working in there. And I'll tell people this all the time when they make chili. When I first moved to Texas, I'll go and order chili, and people, they say, well, they don't put beans in their chili here in Texas. It's like against the rules. It's like if you break, that's one of the cardinal sins of chili in Texas. Most people call it Texas red. They don't put beans in their chili. I, for one, I like it both ways. It depends on what I'm eating. Sometimes I put beans, sometimes I don't, but I love beans in my chili. But some people are like, it's all meat, no chili. No beans, but hey, I'll leave it up to you guys. When you're in your kitchens, I'm not going to come peek through the window and find out if you put beans in your chili, but it's up to personal preference. So we have these vegetables cooked down now a little bit, and our tomato paste is working in there, thickening up everything with our turkey. So now we're going to start adding the spices. And I like to work in my spices individually. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add 4 tablespoons of garlic powder. And one of the things that I tell people is make sure when you're buying spices, look, I'm all for saving money. And I do it. I'm a bargain shopper. I do Sam's, I do Costco, I buy in bulk. But one of the things that I tell people is the foundation of anything you're cooking with should be the most quality of what you can find, whether that's olive oil or your spices. Because if you just go into a random store, stop at a gas station to buy your cumin, God knows how long that's been on the shelves. So checking dates and making sure you're buying a high quality product will help bring that flavor and intensity. And you don't want to get, stale spices. The next I'm going to add is 4 tablespoons of chili. I like to use ancho chili powder. I think it's bold and it brings a lot of flavor. Next is going to be a tablespoon of black pepper. One of my secret weapons is a tablespoon of celery salt. Next, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of smoked paprika. Our final spice is going to be 2 tablespoons of cumin. And then we're going to work our spices into our meat mixture. And I like to do this and work it in. It blossoms, your spices. If you just went in here and dump your spices into a pan with a bunch of liquids and everything like that, yes, it's going to season it. Yes, it's going to, but it's not going to give you the intensity flavor that you would get if you blossom them on heat, like it's in this meat. And if you had, one of my favorite chefs is Emeril Lagasse, and he used to say, I wish you could have smell-o-vision because it smells awesome in my kitchen right now. So all those spices and all those things are working in. Another thing people are going to ask me, hey, chef, you didn't put any salt in your chili. Well, when I make things, I put all the essential spices into it, and then I add my salt at the end because once the flavors come out, if I add the salt now, as I'm tasting, my taste buds are going to get used to what I'm tasting, and as things cook longer, the flavors of those things intensify, including salt. So if I let this cook without salt in it right now, all those other natural flavors, the onions, the celeries, the ancho chili powder, the cumin, those things are going to intensify as they cook. And then I'll get a different flavor profile, and then I can add my salt. That'll give me a way to add less salt and not oversalt the product. And the next thing I'm going to add to this is going to be a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. Your choice of whichever brand you use or anything else. I just prefer crushed. Things give it excellent texture, and I just think it works better. And we're going to work that into the pot. So I'm just going to clean up a little bit, and then we can get our chili. And then the liquid that comes into this is I'm using a chicken stock. Naturally, if I was using cooking beef, if this was beef, I would use a beef stock to add those flavors, the backgrounds of it. But it's a poultry item, so I'm going to use chicken broth. A lot of people make their own. Usually I do have some in my freezer, but I've used it all in quarantine and I haven't replenished. So I go to my local store and I buy 32-ounce container of good chicken stock, and it's different varieties out there. I don't get paid by any. I just use a Pacific brand that I use all the time. It's just, it works for me. When you have these items, make sure to shake. You never know if it's settled or anything. But we're going to add this whole 32-ounce container of chicken stock to our chili. Let's get it a little nicely squeezed. Let it go in. Get every little bit of ounce out of there. All right. So now that we've added our chicken stock, we're going to stir this again. Make sure to pull everything else from the bottom. Put your liquid in there, and we're going to let this chili simmer, and it's up to your discretion. Honestly, you can let this come up to temp and eat it now, or you can turn it down low and let it cook for another hour to two and intensify those flavors. I guess it just determines how hungry you are and how soon you want it. I myself, sometimes, if we're coming home from a late softball game or something going on, it's going to be a now. So it's quick and easy to make. But if it's a lazy Sunday and I'm watching football and I put this on in the crock pot, it's going to be there all day. It intensifies the flavor. And to me, stocks and chilies and different things like that and stews are always better the next day. But this is my turkey chili recipe. For the non-bean eating chili people, your chili's ready. For the guys that like to have beans, I like to do a 3-bean combo when I put it in my chili. So I use a dark red kidney, I use a white gray northern, and then I use a pinto bean. So that's what I use in mine. We're going to actually use this chili tonight for dinner. We separate in our household. Some people like beans, some people don't. So usually what I do is I put the beans on the side in another pot, season them with some of the spices that I did with the chili, little chicken broth. And when you want beans, you add it to your chili or whatever. But tonight we're going to have Frito pies. So we're going to do Frito pies and with all the fixings and trimmings, and the turkey chili will be our main ingredient on the Frito pies tonight. So I want to thank you guys for joining me today. It's always a pleasure to cook for you and share some of my family recipes and give them to you guys so you can hopefully use it for your family and friends and, enjoy these awesome recipes. But at this time, if I want to open up the show for any questions that anybody has, I'm welcome to answer them at this moment. So the floor is you guys.
That looks amazing, Chef. Thanks for sharing. And I'm definitely a no bean.
I totally understand. Look, my wife is a no bean. My youngest is not a big fan of beans in her chili. But me and my oldest are bean people. I grew up with my grandmother making chili in the wintertime with a nice cast iron skillet of cornbread, and she always had beans in it. I really didn't even know anything about the no bean thing until I moved to Texas. A lot of people prefer not to have beans in their chili, but it's a personal preference. I think it's delicious either way, depending on who you're making it for. So I try to be on a level playing field. I'm Switzerland in my house, so I try to level it out for everybody. So, any questions for me right now?
I don't see any in the.
All right. Well, once again, I want to thank you guys for joining me, the ones that joined the session, and hopefully you can use this recipe. I will be sending this recipe over to Bridget so she can get it out to you guys and on our Slack pages. Once again, thank you for joining me, and I hope everyone has an awesome day. Stay safe, everyone. And when I say stay safe, I don't only mean that in the factor of staying safe and away from COVID. I also want to make sure that people are staying mentally safe, keeping themselves abreast on mental issues and things that they're going through, and hopefully reaching out to the sources that they need, whether it's a friend, family, coworker, or anyone else that they can use to take some of the issues or things that they have that they want to speak about. And if anyone's on this phone call that ever needs someone to talk to, please reach out through email, or I can personally give you my cell phone number and we can talk. And I want to thank you guys again, and I hope everyone stays healthy and safe.
Thank you, Chef.
Yes, ma'am. You guys have a great